Yesterday morning, the works at Ardere of Nobel's Explosives Company was the scene of a distressing and fatal occurrence. At about 20 minutes to 9 o'clock, number 7 Cartridge Hut blew up, a mile or so to the west of the town of Stevenston and a short distance from the beach between Stevenston Burn and Urban Harbour. Not a vestige of hut number 7 remains to indicate its former presence, and parts of the body of one of the girls was found over the boundary palisade towards the shore.
Rachel Allison's death certificate. 17. Female. When and where died. 8th of May 1884. Nobel's Explosive Works. Ardere. Stevenston.
She would probably only have been about 16 when that picture was taken. I think she was about 17 when she died. And the story of how she came to be in the factory was that her family had a wee shop in Kilwinning. I have a recollection of being told that she had been down in Liverpool and had come back with a bit of an English accent. She was working in the shop and some friend had come in saying that her daughter was unwell and wouldn't make work, and if she didn't make work or find somebody to fill her shift, she would lose her job. So Rachel took the shift and didn't come back. Tragic story. And all that was left was this photograph and these 2 earrings. I think there was a shawl found in the beach that one of the grandparents had kept. My mother, who would never have known her, heard all these stories from her grandmother, who was Rachel's sister.
During lockdown, I did all my family history on Ancestry and I get my DNA done. So through that, doing the family history and looking at different Facebook pages and things, and I came across Jack's book for family members for Rachel. Rachel is actually my great grandfather's sister. So I didn't know she died in that accident.
I loved that job. I was part of something bigger than me. Rachel Allison from Kyleswell Street.
Basically, 2 of the characters, Maggie and Annie Brannan, are distant relatives of mine. They are my great-granduncle's cousins. I knew that the surname Brannan was within my family tree, and my mum had been able to talk about the fact that they were linked to the Brannans of Stevenston. So there was the 3 girls, Mary, Annie and Margaret. So the mum was Jane Farrell, and their dad was Patrick Brannan. So I mean, it's quite sad, obviously. When this happened, the mum died the year later in 1885, and Dad, their father Patrick, passed away in 1901. So that was like 17 years later. He'd been working in the mines in the area, as a lot of people had done. And the last remaining sister died in Kilwinning in 1892. So that was only 8 years after they had died as well. She was really young as well when she died. And that was essentially, at that point, that family was gone, you know. And the kind of, I mean, going back and finding a lot of the kind of historical documents, I was able to find that the kind of, although they died in the 8th of May 1884, as obviously the play has, it wasn't until the September of that year that the Procurator Fiscal dealt with the deaths of those that were involved. So that's when he got all the recognised statements and such together. And I was able to view the recognised statement in relation to the actual cause of death for Annie, which was released by the Procurator Fiscal on September 25th, 1884, which bizarrely is the same date as my birthday. And the recognition in relation to her death states really clearly, instantaneously killed by an explosion of dynamite. And that, when I read that, the first time I read that, it was just, you know, it was quite emotional, because you read something like that and you think instantaneously that person's eviscerated from history, you know.
Annie Brannan from Ardeer Square. Wee Maggie Brannan from Ardeer Square.
A couple of years ago, I was just looking at a few bits and pieces on my dad's side of the family, and my dad's mum's mum, and I found out that she was born in Stevenson. And now that I started to look, and I noticed that two of her cousins had died in this accident. And that was it. So I knew there was a connection, but I found that connection.
Annie Brannan from Ardeer Square. Wee Maggie Brannan from Ardeer Square.
And it wasn't until in lockdown a couple of years ago, and I started just Googling bits and pieces, and I came across Jack and the play. Mm-hmm. So we started to talk, and I realised when I found out he was writing a play about it, and especially there was a musical, I just got so excited because I found two of the people that were unfortunately died, but were part of the folks in this play, I'm kind of related to. And the fact that, you know, as you probably gather from accent, I'm not from around these parts, but it's something that I feel very connected to, because also my great-grandmother left here about 3 months after the accident. And I think, you know, it was probably because of that. And I'm not sure she ever came back. So it's part of her history. So in a way, me coming back today is a bit like her coming back.
Oh.
Annie Brannan from Ardeer Square. Wee Maggie Brannan from Ardeer Square.
I'm almost 50, and since I was a child, I was always brought up in the stories of how my granny and grandpa met, for example. And they met down in the Corvite area, and my grandpa was my gran's foreman down there, and there was one specific incident where the bombs were coming down from the German Luftwaffe, and my grandpa was getting all the girls out, and it was predominantly girls. Again, the play, you know, it's predominantly girls, and he was getting all the girls out, and they'll dive to the ground. Now, I've heard the story time and time again, the injuries, the horrific injuries that my grandfather suffered then, and it's documented. I've read through the actual kind of accident report and things, but to actually see that in the play, the first time I saw that in the play was the first night I was working on the play, and it was amazing. It really was. It was really touching, and you know, to see them all dive into the ground, it brought that side of things alive for me, you know, to be able to think, because I've walked where they walked, I've been down there, I've seen, you know, this is where my grandpa try and imagine things like that, but seeing the air raid siren and things, and everybody's running and diving on the ground, and I thought that's what I thought of was my kind of grandpa. I had a real close connection with that, and that kind of thing. Honestly, I can't say enough about how good the play is, how true to life it is, how much it's made me personally think about my family and our kind of place in things.
Of hut number 7 remains to indicate its former presence, and parts of the body of one of the girls was found over the boundary palisade towards the shore.